I'm Starlight Bricks, and this is my review on LEGO Star Wars Set 75412, the Death Trooper and Night Trooper Battle Packs. It is rated ages 6 and up and has 119 pieces. It also has an insane retail price of $23. I don't know how LEGO has been increasing the price on the battle packs, but I think 23 might be too far. We thought 20 might be the max. Nope, 23. At the front of our box here, we have the teal color to indicate it's part of the Ahsoka season wave, even though it's released way later than that. At the bottom of the box, you have our 4 minifigures. Very nice. And then also just to pick the main art is just our troopers in battle, jumping off the dropship in a very weird way. Back of the box, it's more awesome art showing off the play feature, not plural, and then just showing the dropship landed and seeing the troopers in action. So it is a very clean design, except for a very annoying thumbtack here. Also looking at the top and the bottom of the box, nothing really too fancy, just the 1:1 figure scale. And on the side of the box, you have some more cool art. Opening the box, you get 2 unnumbered bags and your beautiful rendered version of an instruction manual. Nothing too out of the ordinary. First, let's talk about the 4 amazing minifigs that are included with the set, which is kind of the main reason why you buy the set in the first place. That we have Thrawn's Night Troopers. Both are actually not unique to this set, as the one on the left with the white helmet is actually included in the duel and Peridia. It's an exact replica. But the one on the right with the gray helmet is new and exclusive to the set. See, both of these figures look really great. I actually like the gray helmet a lot more than I thought I would. It actually makes it look unique and slightly different. Although I wish there was more gold markings on it. It still works for what it is. Both troopers are great, different bandages and stuff. Both the legs are the same, but the actual torso parts are different in the way they're wrapped. So I'm glad they actually went the extra mile there. However, you will notice that all the figures have the exact same zombified face print. I wish there was like slight differences, but I mean they're underneath the helmets, so they don't really change too much anyways. The back of the figures is pretty much the same, just some gold markings and some bandages, but it just looks good. Now on to our next figures, the Death Troopers, because technically they're Death Troopers that are dead, if that makes any sense. Both of these figures are exactly the same, face, mold, print, everything is exact. Not necessarily a bad thing. I'm glad that they still made these figures. I just wish that there was like slight differences like we see in the Night Troopers. But overall, they're still great figures. The coloring design is good. I like the golden markings on the helmet. I do wish that one of the helmets was like kind of broken and like cracked open and stuff so you can see the face like we actually see in the Ahsoka show. That would have been really cool. Obviously, Lego's a little too lazy for that and they're just going to use the same mold, which, don't get me wrong, it's a nice mold. I just wish that one of them had like the face crack and the other one was perfectly fine. To have like some difference there, but overall, front of these figures, they look great. Onto the back of the figures here, it kind of keeps the same design with the gold and the red bandages. Nothing else to really say about that. It looks cool. However, as much as I hate having named characters in battle packs, we still should have got Captain Enoch. It's kind of sad that we still haven't gotten him, but you know, whatever. They should have included Captain Enoch inside the Duel and Peridia set and then left the exclusive Night Trooper to this set instead of having it in both. Enoch should have been that one, and then this one should have stayed in this one. But we all know Lego and their somewhat dumb decisions that people question constantly. Alright, now on to our, what is this supposed to be? As much as the figs are the main reason why that you usually buy a battle pack, it doesn't mean that it doesn't have a cool build for the figs to interact with. In this case, it's a dropship looking acting thing. Honestly, I'm starting to kind of like this weird, strange looking build thing. First, the look of it. The color's really cool. I like the black with the light bluish gray and also the little hints of dark bluish gray. I really like that. The cockpit's not my favorite, but it works. I get what it's trying to resemble, quote unquote. The only thing that, and then for the side parts where you actually have your figure stand places for them to get dropped off, those look pretty decent too. They're kind of like hidden, like you don't have to have the figures on them to make it look good. It looks pretty decent. But the flaps for me are the part that makes it weird, I guess. The 4 flaps, all the concept's cool. I feel like it looks so weird, especially like if you like fold these in and you can only have the back parts. I feel like it looks so much cooler. I don't really know why, it just kind of does. But 4 flaps work too. pretty okay. And there's a little engine piece there. Then you get the engine, the thrust on the back. Actually, look, it's very, very simple, but it works. It's a very simplistic, minimalistic type of build that I'm actually okay with. Obviously, as battle packs are more oriented to kids, yes, but obviously for collectors to actually already build the figures, the build itself still needs to be pretty sturdy. And I'd say it is. Every bit of it is. I mean, of course, like the flaps can fall off occasionally, but not really surprisingly. They're pretty on, they're pretty good. The only part that really kind of like falls off is the windscreen piece, just because it's only connected to about this top part here, making it extremely loose and just kind of slightly on there. So obviously the whole point of the side build is to give something for the minifigures to interact with, because sadly we can't just get a pack of minifigs, as cool as that would be. We all like the builds anyway, usually, and this one's actually pretty alright. So now, how do they interact with this dropship thingy? Well, like I said, the main part of it is it's a dropship, and it drops off your figures. So in this case, you'll find two little spots on each side of the model where you can put your figures. Imagine that. At least they did that. Alright, so all you have to do is literally just plop your minifigs on the two studs, and voila. They fit in there nice and snug. You can actually press them against the wall, because they actually thought about this for the helmet, so it doesn't overlap or anything. Well, it goes on top of the little piece that's there. They actually thought it through. I'm actually very impressed with that part of the model. Yeah, you can fit two minifigures on each side, and they fit there nice and snug. They're not like crammed into each other or anything. They just kind of work, just like so. And if you don't want your minifigures to, well, have your blasters out and ready, you can take the blaster off, kick him out real quick, and see these two clips right in the middle there? That's where you can put your blasters. I'll admit, it's kind of hard to get into, but once you get it on there, it's clipped on. And yeah, this piece also falls off a lot, but we'll get to that later. And then you can plop your minifigs down just like so. But obviously you don't really like need to have your blaster out there. I personally prefer just to have them out and ready, but it's nice that the play feature's actually there and included in case you do so desire. But yeah, all figures do fit both sides, 2 and 2, just like so. And now that's all your minifigs, because now you don't even have a pilot. Uh-oh. Now, you're gonna need your minifigure that doesn't have a blaster, so good thing those clips did come in handy, because now this guy does not have one, and you can just plop in right there. Sadly, there's actually no control panel or anything, so it's a little weird, but maybe he flies the ship other ways, I guess. Use your imagination. And then you just kind of put the windscreen just on top, and voila. He fits in there nice and snug, and now you're missing a trooper on the backside, but that's besides the point. I will admit, these stud shooters are actually very well integrated. They kind of look like they're part of the model, and it does actually look like it has guns on it. So, that's pretty cool. Blasters, but you know what I mean. And then, just to pop these off, you just push down on this thing on the side, and it shoots your little studs. Just like so. The thing you kind of notice with the flaps is that if you don't have any minifigs inside of it, well, they can kind of fold down, just like so, into the model, giving it kind of like very slick folded up look like it's landed, and it can be folded away into a Star Destroyer or a larger ship. So I'm glad like they kind of came up with, I guess you could say, in-universe answer to how this would be stored. It's pretty much everything that this set has to offer. 4 amazing figures and a pretty decent build that's actually fun to play with. Overall, I'd give it about an 8.5 out of 10. It's really good, it's a sturdy build, it's kind of fun to play with. Obviously, I'm not a big fan of the look of it. It just definitely has a lot of those capabilities where it's able to be played with and you can have fun with. And it does its intended use. And plus you get 4 amazing minifigures. Of course, they definitely could get better, like the Death Troopers, and having like one with a cracked helmet, and them looking different, and then a different Night Trooper than the one we see in the Duel and Prettier set. And then we still need Captain Enoch. But besides all that, this is a really good set. It is about to retire here soon, though, at the end of 2026, or even in July of 2026. So if you don't have this set, and you're a big fan of the Ahsoka show, I definitely say pick the set up before it goes up to retire. Yay! But even for 23, the figures are pretty cool. Although if you can get it for 20 or less, you just scored yourself a great deal. Okay, I lied. I'm kind of having withdrawals on the fact this is $23. I should not have bought this for $23. This is easily a $15 Lego set. At most 20, not 23. Whatever. All right. Starlight Bricks signing off.